Hey everyone, and welcome to the Game Week 27 team selection. Back to being a normal game week, one game for each team. And we've already made two transfers to the squad, the rest of my free transfers of the week. Hopefully I can bank some up again, but I do have some holes I still need to fill and maybe created some new ones. We'll see, but looking to take some risks to try to get up that leaderboard in the final, I guess, 11 game weeks we got left. And so we'll start at the back. We're going to start Suzuki this week. Inter has a tough fixture against Napoli. I could definitely see Inter being scored on, especially with a second string goalkeeper. He kept a great clean sheet last game. So I don't know, just playing a little bit of odds that he won't keep two in a row. And going for, I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about Suzuki after he kept his clean sheet last week, but I just like the fixture more. Against Udinese, I imagine Luca will not be seeing the field, so that's a big striker that won't be there after his shenanigans in the over the weekend with the penalty incident. Um, but yeah, so Suzuki is going to start in between the goalposts. Along the back, we have Bokma against Cagliari, Dodo against Lecce, Teo Hernandez against Lazio, and Dumfries against Napoli. So we are benching a big defender in Di Lorenzo, and I think I promised myself I wouldn't do this since mid season. But Napoli isn't in the greatest of form right now. Inter, I'd say, is in a better form right now. Dumfries, I think, has been very attacking this year, and Di Lorenzo has been somewhat attacking, but Dumfries, I'd say more so. So I'm gonna lean on Inter in this fixture a little bit, and it covers if Inter do get a clean sheet, at least I don't lose two there. Um, Teo Hernandez against Lazio, I guess. I just kind of ended up just picking him over Di Lorenzo at that point. I still wanted to have four at the back. While Moise Kean is injured and Fiorentina struggling to really score without him, as we saw in the last 30 minutes against Verona. The defense still wasn't terribly letting it go right at the very end. But Duro still scored well. Lecce, similar team to Verona, so hoping for some clean sheet points there. And Bokema against Cagliari, I do expect at least one half for clean sheet there. In the midfield, it really just matters whether he starts or not. I'm hoping that he starts. He's looked okay, but really tough knowing that he missed that PK against Empoli in the Coppa Italia. So hopefully that doesn't have his confidence too down. But against Verona, I definitely want to be starting him there. First transfer in, Dybala has come in for David Nares. David Nares took a chance on him, a little bit of a punt, didn't pay off. Is also flagged now, so I'll just bring in Dybala. Now, Dybala is a risk in himself as he has not been a consistent starter in the Roma team, but Roma have really excellent fixtures coming up right now for the next, I think, like 4 or 5 weeks. And I'm sure Dybala will start at least some of those games, and I'm sure he's at least going to get subbed in too. When he's on the field, he is on penalties. So this is a bit of a risk as far as starts go, which may very well backfire on me. But with the fixtures, like he can do something in 30 minutes if he needs to. I'm hoping that he gets more game time than that, but I'm sure that he won't be coming off the bench every game. And I'm just hoping that if he does, that he's still able to put the ball in the net. And then our last midfielder, Lookman with the captaincy. He wasn't planning, like it was rumored that he wouldn't start last week. He did. I don't know why they would go back on that now, especially after scoring a brace. It's a tough decision between who to captain between Lookman and Retegi. And I'm just going based off of two goals and an extra point for goals for a midfielder compared to a forward. So it's just a form pick between the two. Bit of a toss up there. Obviously, then we have Retegui, similar story, both against Venezia. So I could see Atalanta having another big scoreline. Atalanta has had several games this year where they're putting in 4 or 5 goals, and this would be another good one if they could do that. Kolo Muani, I'm hoping takes the starts back from Vlahovic again, not only as a fantasy owner, but as a fan of Juve. Vlahovic hasn't looked good. Like, yes, he scored the goal that won them the game over the weekend. It just kind of squeaked in. Did not have very much pace to the finish. But he did not look very impressive against Empoli in Coppa Italia. He missed a very wide open chance later in the match, missed his penalty as well. So I'm hoping they give the start back to Colomwani and he can return to the form that he was at before Mota mistakenly stopped starting him. The second transfer in is Pinamonti. So haven't gone for a lot of players from the smaller clubs this season, and there have been some really good ones. Pinamonti is one of them. Genoa has some good fixtures coming up as well. So just gonna take a chance on maybe a more of a differential. Let's see what his ownership is. Only owned by 6.8% of the game, so it is a bit of a differential. Um, as we can see, he didn't score last match against Inter. That's a tough match for them, but did score the previous two. So hopefully there is some form there, and he can ride that and score against Empoli. But that is how the team is looking. Like I'd recommend bringing in a Pinamonti. It might be time if they still don't do anything this game to start getting rid of the Bolognas and the Fiorentina players that we had for the double game weeks and bring in other players that are more in form. Other players to think about moving on for my team, and I know a lot of people would still have Yildiz, might be one to be rid of. Pulisic has not been starting, and I do have a lot of good players on the bench this week, I think, and this could come back to bite me, but Pulisic hasn't been starting. Di Lorenzo, like Napoli, have not been in good form. And Freuler, while he can be reliable, I'm trying to get a bigger haul this week. I know with Freuler I can get 4, 5, 6 points, but I'm hoping with these fixtures that my midfielders have, we're able to get larger scores than that this week and make a final push for the top of the Serie A fantasy table. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will talk to you again soon. Good luck this game week. Take care.